I have been brought up a bit around the world. So I was born in India, brought up in Dubai, and then I lived in Canada for 6 years, where I graduated from BBA and also did a full-time job for 1.5 years in the automotive industry. So that's kind of where I learned about my interest in market analytics. I pursued a bachelor's major in marketing, as well as did some minors in statistics and financial mathematics to gain that foundational base. After that, I pursued my role as a market intelligence specialist at Nissan, which is where I got more interested in just market intelligence in general. We received a lot of survey data and offline data, which is there's always a time lag. But it was always interesting to see how the audience changes over time, be it any industry in general. And that's where I realized I wanted to pursue my master's in a similar field. Being in Canada, it was just very convenient to look for a master's maybe in Canada or in the US. But none of the masters or programs that I came across had market analytics as a major. All of them used to be focused or are focused on business analytics as the major, and you do maybe one course of 4 months in marketing or operations or accounting to specialize in a specific area in business analytics. So when I was browsing through all the programs, I realized that NUS, which is in the culture that I've been brought up in, NUS is a household name. Like, everyone knows NUS, everyone knows the credibility, the reputation it holds. NUS at that time was offering market analytics and insights as a master's of science. And that's what got me engaged. That is one of the reasons for choosing NUS. Of course, in Asia, NUS is a huge name. Almost every person I know and I've been brought up with knows the university, knows the credibility it holds in Asia and internationally. So it was always recommended that way as well. A lot of the programs tend to focus on, especially marketing programs, tend to focus on very conventional methods of analysis. Yes, we do, SPSS. Yes, we do demographic analysis. Yes, we do, very manual segmentation of audiences and so on. NUS has a very blended approach, or this program specifically for market analytics individuals has a very blended approach. It takes into consideration digital marketing as well as conventional marketing, and then it mixes that with tools that we use today. So you'll see a lot of computer science tools being used, like Python, R. We had the option to use statistics using R and process big data as part of our course, which is not something that conventional marketing schools are offering. So I think the blended approach to using kind of a more scientific and more modern method to analysis and analytics in general, with conventional as well as today's tools of marketing. So we had courses in digital marketing, we had courses in consumer insights, which looked at more offline data. Digital marketing taught us how to extract data from like Twitter using R and so on. So it was a very blended approach in general of like digital marketing, conventional marketing, and the modern scientific tools that we're using now, like R and Python. And that's what really engaged me for this program. I was lucky enough to live on campus for both the semesters, which is a rare opportunity. But if I think first semester you can probably be prioritized, second semester it's a bit harder. Highly recommend applying for dorm lifestyle so that you can be on campus, because that campus is like a town. It's not, it's so great. It's got all the facilities within as well as just the liveliness. You might have a lot of like bachelor students roaming around, so you definitely feel a bit of the age difference there, but it's completely worth it. There's this place called U Town, which is just it's short for University Town, and they've got this line of food courts, and there's a park there, and you can just sit there and study. So if you ever need a change of scenery, all you need to do is take that bus and just move from one building to another in that campus, and you're good. So it definitely helps with like studying part of it as well, because you get a change of environment all the time. My plan or my end goal at certain stage in my life is to work for OTT platforms, so like Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime Video, or streaming services in general like Spotify. So work for these industries in an audience analysis or insight analysis role. And I think when I had that in mind, that is, for me, is the end goal. So for me, it was important to get a degree in that aligned with that role as well. And once I realized that, when you realize what you're interested in, you're like, before I commit to this completely, I want to pursue it in a more experienced manner. So that's why I chose to do the full-time job in Canada and work as a market intelligence specialist. And that's where my interest solidified. And that's why I realized, okay, I want to take the same approach and use it in different video platforms or streaming services platforms. And that's why I started looking for more masters that are oriented towards this interest. So I did have, and I do still have, that end goal of working for a similar company in an insight analyst or insight derivation role. After I graduated from market analytics, so during that course, I also did an internship in a consulting company, Capgemini, and so I worked as a social insights analyst there. So that is basically using quite a few tools to extract data from Facebook, Twitter, forums, anything that is publicly available. Use that to derive insights regarding brand reputation or new product development in a certain industry and so on. So that is the kind of career path that I wanted to pursue after I graduated from Masters, kind of like a track that would eventually lead me to the big firms that I talked about, because this kind of a role would give me more experience with what I was interested in the first place, which is using more modern tools and tools that offer you real-time data with the marketing tools that we've learned about during our course. So I'm following that path. Let's see how it goes. Maybe ask me in like 5-10 years again. I worked in Capgemini as an intern for 6-7 months. They really liked me. I really liked them. So a mutual relationship was established there, and they offered me a full-time opportunity. And they offered me because they offered me Hong Kong at that time, or Malaysia, and I chose Hong Kong then. Mainly because I really liked Singapore, but I also found it kind of similar to the places that I've lived in. And I was also ready for a new country, a new experience, because even in Canada, I moved every 1 to 2 years all the time. And I've now sort of gotten used to that. The term nowadays used is digital nomad. So I've become that digital nomad, I believe. I mean, I go into a new country saying that, okay, I want stability now, I don't want to move. But 2 years later, I'm like, okay, maybe, let's mix things up, let's move around a bit. And I think that's what happened at that stage, where they offered me Hong Kong or Malaysia as a new experience, and I chose Hong Kong. I think one more thing that was a bit different about this experience or this adventure, other than the fact that it's Hong Kong, is that this is the first time I'm moving where I don't have, I'm not building friendships. Like, it's not a university experience. It's not where people are looking to build friendships. Workplace, yes, everyone wants to build friendships, but once you have your friends, you're kind of like, okay, I don't need to open my circle that wide, right? So this is when you're coming into in a country without knowing anyone, and you're coming here to work. So it really takes a lot of your willingness to be like, okay, I am happy on my own, and like be making friendships is kind of like a second step, a next step to it. So the first few months with the lockdown, not a lot of people came to the office, so it took a while to build that social support system in a way. But 1 year down the line, today, no masks, so that's great. But in addition to that, I do have a very good social circle in office and outside office. So, that it's been a great experience. It's been a learning curve. This environment itself, like a very good mix of concrete jungle as well as the mountains and greenery. So it's honestly been refreshing. Yeah. If someone is looking for a marketing program that is just theoretical and they just tell you the sales techniques or the advertising techniques or just the analysis techniques, this program is not for you. This program is more to challenge you more practically. This will encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and really learn about marketing from a more application perspective. Rather than just learning theories, you are tested on them on a daily basis, and this is not just regular tests or memorization tests. It's more about application and practicality of what you're learning. So you may think you're wrong, you may think you're right, but in actual, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what happens with you and like the groups together and how you guys work together. That's what really gives you the best experience. So if you're interested in a blended learning of like digital marketing, conventional marketing with more practical tools like R and Python, and using that big data processing just to build those insights and help brands and so on, and professionally build yourself to be more future proof, this is the program for you.